In the small dusty village of Kajuru, where red sand painted every footpath and hunger danced in many homes, lived a young girl named Amina. She was only 22, but her eyes held the weight of 100 lifetimes. Since her mother died 5 years ago, Amina had known no peace. Her father, Baba Idris, had changed. Once a kind farmer, now a cruel drunkard. And as if that wasn't enough, he married a wicked woman named Mama Tope, who hated Amina with everything in her. They made her cook, fetch firewood, sweep the compound, farm from dawn till dusk, and sleep without food. Everyone in the village pitied her, but no one dared to speak. Nobody wanted to face Baba Idris's madness. Then came Tunde, a young man from the city. His clothes were old, his shoes had holes, but his eyes were sharp. He had been working on Baba Idris's farm for 3 months, clearing bushes, planting cassava, carrying heavy loads from morning till evening. But after all the work, Baba Idris refused to pay him. "Next week. Come tomorrow. I'll pay you when I sell something," he kept saying, but nothing ever came. One hot afternoon, Tunde came to the house, tired and angry. "Sir, please. I need my money today," he said. Baba Idris scratched his head and looked around. His eyes fell on Amina, who was sweeping the compound with a tired face. Then he laughed wickedly. "You want money?" he asked. "Sir, I worked for 3 months. Please pay me," Tunde replied. "Well, take that girl instead," Baba Idris said, pointing at Amina. Tunde was confused. "Take who?" "My daughter. She's good for nothing. Let her go with you to the city. That is your payment." Amina's heart broke. She dropped the broom and looked at her father. "Daddy, please no." "Shut up," he shouted. "You should be happy someone wants you." Mama Tope folded her arms and smiled. "Good. Let her go. One less mouth to feed." Amina fell on her knees, begging, crying, shaking her head, but nobody cared. Nobody listened. Tunde looked at her. She was broken, but still very beautiful. Not just on the outside. Something in her spirit touched him. "She's beautiful," he said under his breath. "What did you say?" Baba Idris asked. "I'll take her," Tunde replied. Just like that, Amina's life changed. With tears in her eyes, she packed her clothes inside a black plastic bag. Nobody hugged her. Nobody prayed for her. Her little half-brother Bayo stood behind the house, crying as he waved goodbye. And Amina followed Tunde to the city. The journey to the city was long and tiring. The bus passed through many towns, trees, and dusty roads. Amina sat close to the window staring outside. She wasn't sure how to feel. She had just left the only home she knew, even though that home was full of pain. She had no idea where she was going or what would happen next. But deep inside her heart, she prayed silently. "Lord, please don't let this man be wicked like my father. Please give me peace. I'm tired." Tunde didn't say much during the journey. He just kept looking straight ahead, thinking deeply. Every now and then, he would glance at her and sigh. He looked so tired, so small. Like someone who had carried too much pain on her shoulders. Finally, they reached the city. Everywhere looked different. Tall buildings, cars with shining lights, people walking fast. Noise everywhere. Amina held her bag tightly, trying not to look confused. She had never been to the city before. They took a small tricycle to the end of a quiet street. Tunde paid the driver, then led her down a short path lined with flowers. Then he stopped in front of a big black gate and knocked. A few seconds later, the gate opened slowly. Amina gasped. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. The compound was wide and clean. The main house was painted white and looked like something from a movie. Flowers were neatly planted by the walkway, and there was even a small fountain in the corner. They passed the main house and stopped at a small but neat building behind it. It had 1 bedroom, a sitting room, a small kitchen, and a bathroom. It was called the boys' quarters. "This is where I live," Tunde said with a smile. Amina looked around. The place was clean and peaceful. "I just got a job a few days ago as a security guard," he continued. "The owner of the house is very kind. She gave me this place to stay for free." Amina looked at him surprised. "Really?" "Yes," he nodded. "She lives in the main house with her only son. She said I can stay here as long as I keep the compound safe." Amina looked at the small house again. It wasn't as big as the main building, but to her it felt like a palace. It had a roof that didn't leak, a door that locked, and a bed with clean sheets. It was far better than the mat she used to sleep on in the kitchen back home. She smiled faintly for the first time in a long time. "If this is God's purpose for me, then so be it," she said quietly. Tunde looked at her. "Are you okay with it?" She nodded. "Yes. I have peace. I've not felt this in a long time." 2 days after they arrived in the city, Amina woke up to the smell of something nice coming from the small kitchen. She opened her eyes slowly and looked around the room. The morning sun was gently shining through the window. It felt peaceful. She sat up and stretched her arms. For the first time in years she had slept peacefully. No shouting, no beatings, no fear, just calm. She stepped into the kitchen and there was Tunde turning something in a frying pan. "Good morning," she said quietly. He turned with a smile. "Morning, Amina. I made breakfast. Hope you slept well." She nodded. "Yes, like a baby." They both laughed lightly. After breakfast, Tunde said, "Get dressed. I want you to meet someone." "Who?" Amina asked curiously. Just wear something simple and neat." She went back into the room and wore a soft gown Tunde had bought for her. She brushed her hair and came out, her heart beating fast. They walked out of the boys' quarters and followed a short path that led to the main house. When they got there, the tall black door opened, and an elegant woman in her late 50s stood at the entrance. She had kind eyes and a calm presence. "Good morning, Ma," Tunde greeted. "Morning, Tunde. And who's this beautiful young lady?" "This is Amina, my wife," Tunde replied. Mama Folake looked at Amina with warm eyes. "So this is the wife you spoke about. She's lovely. Come inside, my dear." Amina stepped in carefully, her eyes wide. The living room was neat and shining. Everything looked expensive. Mama Folake held her hand gently. "You're welcome, Amina. I like you already. You have a sweet spirit. I'm happy Tunde brought you here." Amina smiled shyly. "Thank you, Ma. You can call me Mama Folake. Feel free, okay? This house is big enough for peace. If you need anything, let me know." "Okay, Ma," Amina replied. After a short chat, they returned to the boys' quarters. That evening, after cleaning the small kitchen and arranging the room, Amina sat on the edge of the bed, thinking. Tunde was seated on the floor, fixing a loose handle on the wardrobe. "Tunde," she called gently. "Yes. Can I tell you something?" He looked up at her. "Of course." She sighed, playing with her fingers. "When my father said I should follow you to the city, I felt useless. I felt like I was thrown away. Like I didn't matter to anyone." Tunde stood up slowly, his eyes on her. "I thought maybe you would be worse than him. Maybe when we get here you would start shouting at me, beating me, or treating me like a slave." Her voice broke a little and tears filled her eyes. "But you didn't. You gave me peace. You gave me space. You respected me. You even cooked for me." She wiped her face with the back of her hand. "I want to tell you, thank you. I don't regret coming here anymore. I'm no longer angry that my father gave me to you. I now believe maybe this was God's plan." Tunde sat beside her and took her hand slowly. "I would never hurt you, Amina. That's not the kind of man I want to be." He paused. "Do you know something?" he added. "I liked you a long time ago, the very first day I saw you on the farm." Amina looked at him with surprise. "I wanted to talk to your father, but I was scared. I thought he would reject me, insult me, or even chase me away because I had nothing." He smiled gently. "But that day when he told me to take you instead of paying me, I was shocked. Yet deep inside I was happy. It felt like a door had opened." Amina looked down. "I don't love you yet, Tunde." "I know," he said quickly. "And I'm not rushing you." She nodded slowly. "But I like how you treat me, like I matter, like I'm not a mistake, like I'm a queen." He smiled wider. "That's because you are, Amina. You're a queen. You've just been hidden in the wrong palace." Amina laughed softly, wiping another tear. For the first time she felt seen. And though love hadn't fully entered her heart, something beautiful had already begun to grow. Respect, peace, and trust. A month later, life was already beginning to shine brighter for Amina. Every day she cooked in the boys' quarters and tried new recipes. She had even written some meals down in a small notebook Tunde gave her. Her confidence was growing. One sunny afternoon, as she was helping Mama Folake carry some groceries into the house, the woman called her gently. "Amina, come sit with me for a minute." Amina wiped her hands and sat beside her. Mama Folake smiled. Do you know Tun told me something sweet about you? Amina looked at her, confused but curious. Ma. Mama Folake nodded. He said you're a great cook. And I agree. You have been helping around and I see your heart. You are humble and hardworking. Thank you, Ma, Amina said shyly. Mama Folake continued. My cook has traveled overseas with her family, and now I need someone I can trust to take her place. And I've been watching you closely, my dear. I believe you are the right person. Amina's mouth opened in shock. Her eyes began to water. Ma, thank you so much. You're so kind. God will bless you. I don't even know what to say. Mama Folake patted her hand. You deserve it. You're a good girl. Still shaking with joy, Amina wiped her face quickly. Ma, can I tell you something? Of course, my child. I've been looking for a way to earn money, not just for clothes or anything else. I want to go to school. I want to further my education and go to university. Mama Folake's face lit up immediately. You want to go to university? Yes, Ma. I stopped after secondary school because of family issues, but I love learning. I really want to go back. Mama Folake reached over and gave her a warm hug. Hi, child, I love education. I love girls that love school. That is a beautiful dream and I'm proud of you. Amina felt her heart swell with happiness. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. As soon as she finished helping in the kitchen, she rushed back to the boys' quarters, her slippers making soft sounds as she ran. Tund, Tund, she shouted with excitement. He came out of the room surprised. What is it? Why are you shouting like that? Tund, you won't believe what just happened, she said, smiling from ear to ear. Mama Folake said I should become her new cook. Wait, seriously? Tund asked, eyes wide. Yes. And she said she'll be paying me every month. I also told her that I want to go to university and she was so happy. Tund pulled her into a hug. That's my wife. My world-class wife. Amina laughed, blushing. Aw, Tund, don't start. No, I mean it, he said, holding her hands. You've come a long way, from the village to the city, from tears to smiles, from rejection to celebration. She nodded, still smiling. It feels like a dream. And the best part is, the dream is just starting, Tund added. That night after dinner, Amina and Tund lay side by side on the bed, facing the ceiling. The day had been long but beautiful. Amina couldn't sleep. So many thoughts were running through her mind. After a long silence, she turned slowly and looked at Tund. Tund, she called gently. Yes, he replied, still looking up. Can I ask you something? Anything, he said, turning to face her. Amina took a deep breath. Why haven't you, touched me since I came here? Tund blinked, surprised. He didn't expect that question. Amina continued, I mean, we're married. If it was another man, maybe he would have done it the first night I entered this house. Tund sat up slowly and leaned against the wall. His voice was calm. You're right, Amina. Many men would have done that. But I'm not just any man. I didn't bring you here to use you, he said. I brought you here to love you, to care for you, to protect you. He paused for a moment, then looked into her eyes. You've been through so much already. I see the pain in your eyes sometimes, even when you smile. I don't want to add to that pain. Amina's eyes began to water. Tund continued, I want you to be ready. I want you to love me first. Then, when your heart is at peace, you can willingly give yourself to me. Not because you feel forced, not because you feel like you owe me. He held her hand gently. I know you've never been with any man before in your life. You've carried shame, rejection, and fear for too long. That night your father gave you away like you were nothing. It broke something inside you. Amina looked down, her heart beating fast. But Amina, you are not nothing. You are everything. You are strong. You are special. And when that time comes, when your heart says yes, not because of pressure but because of love, then I'll be ready too. Tears rolled down Amina's cheeks. She had never heard such words in her life. You really mean all this? She asked quietly. I do, he said. I want you to feel safe with me, Amina. This marriage must be built on love, not fear. She wiped her tears, smiling softly. Thank you, Tund, she whispered. You've changed my life in so many ways. I thought all men were like my father. But you're different. Tund leaned closer and kissed her forehead gently. Sleep well, my queen, he said. Amina lay back down, her heart full of peace. For the first time she felt truly safe in the arms of a man. Not just a husband but a friend. Just 2 days after Amina started working as a cook in the main house, something strange happened. That morning, she was in the kitchen preparing Mama Folake's favorite vegetable soup. She had just finished slicing the ugu leaves when the kitchen door opened. She turned to see a tall, handsome young man standing by the door, staring at her. It was Kelechi, Mama Folake's only son. He looked shocked for a second, then smiled. Damn. You are so beautiful. Amina stood still, surprised. My mom told me about you, he continued, walking slowly into the kitchen. She said you were smart, humble, and beautiful. But honestly, I thought she was just capping. Until now. He placed his hand on the counter and looked at her from head to toe. Wow girl, you are so damn hot. I think God created you on a Sunday morning. He must have taken his sweet time with you. Amina felt uncomfortable. She looked down quickly and tried to focus on her cooking. Good afternoon, sir, she said quietly, trying to ignore his words. Kelechi laughed and waved his hand. Come on, don't call me sir. I'm just a little boy, you know. You can call me Kelechi. Amina shook her head. No sir, I can't. It's not proper. He smiled again. You're so polite. I like that. She didn't reply. She just continued cooking in silence. After a few more minutes, Kelechi left the kitchen, still smiling. When Amina finished her work that evening, she returned to the boys' quarters. Tunde was waiting for her outside, sitting on a wooden bench. Welcome, my queen, he said cheerfully. How was work today? Amina sat beside him, her face a little worried. Tunde, something happened today. He turned to her quickly. What is it? Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. But your boss's son, Kelechi, came into the kitchen. Okay, Tunde said, watching her closely. He was saying things that made me uncomfortable. He told me I'm beautiful, that God created me on a Sunday morning, and that I should stop calling him sir, and call him by name instead. Tunde frowned slightly but then gave a small smile. Ah, that Kelechi. He's a funny guy. That's how he jokes. Amina didn't smile. Tunde, I didn't like the way he was looking at me. Like I'm something to eat. Tunde laughed softly and touched her hand. It's okay, my beautiful wife. Don't let it bother you. Kelechi is harmless. He just likes talking. He doesn't mean anything bad. Amina looked into Tunde's eyes. Are you sure? I'm sure, he said gently. But if he ever crosses the line, just tell me. I'll protect you. Always. She nodded slowly. Okay, if you say so. He smiled and kissed her forehead. You're safe with me, Amina. Always. But deep inside, Amina still felt something wasn't right. There was something in Kelechi's eyes that made her uncomfortable. Something she couldn't explain. I'm not interested, I told him. I believe in you, in us. I know one day God will bless you. Tunde looked at her, touched beyond words. He pulled her close and held her tightly. Thank you, Amina. Thank you for standing by me. She smiled, wiping a tear from her cheek. You stood by me first. Now it's my turn. That night they prayed together before sleeping. The next day Amina woke up early, but her heart was heavy. She was tired of pretending, tired of smiling when deep down she was uncomfortable. Kelechi's words kept ringing in her head. She had tried to ignore him, had tried to keep it to herself. But now she had had enough. She walked straight to the main house and knocked gently on the door. Mama Folake opened the door, smiling as usual. Amina, my daughter. Good morning. Hope you slept well. Good morning, Ma, Amina said, looking down. Mama Folake noticed the change in her face and invited her in. What's wrong, Amina? You don't look like yourself. Amina took a deep breath. Ma, I came to talk to you. Please don't be angry. Mama Folake sat down slowly. Of course not, my dear. Talk to me. It's about your son, Kelechi. Mama Folake looked surprised. Kelechi? What about him? Amina's voice was calm but serious. He has been disturbing me, saying things that make me very uncomfortable. Promising me money, telling me to leave my husband and be with him. He said he'll send me abroad and give me a better life if I agree. Mama Folake's mouth opened slightly in shock. He even said he'll pay Tunde off or get him sacked, just so he can have me, Amina added, her voice shaking a little. Ma, I respect you. I respect this house. but I can't keep quiet anymore." Mama Folake sat back and folded her arms. After a long silence, she said softly, "Amina, you're a beautiful and wise girl. You deserve a better life. Maybe my son just sees your potential. Maybe you should give him a chance." Amina's eyes widened. Mama Folake looked serious now. "Look, I'm not saying you should leave your husband anyhow, but just think about it. We can give you everything you want. Education, comfort, even your husband will benefit. We can pay him off to walk away. This is a good opportunity for you." Amina stood up slowly. Her hand began to shake, but her voice remained steady. "With all due respect, Ma, I am not that kind of woman." Mama Folake was silent. "I didn't come here to sell myself. I didn't marry Tunde because of money. I married him because when the world turned its back on me, he stood by me. When my own father gave me away like a bag of yam, he gave me dignity." Tears filled her eyes, but she didn't stop. "Ma, I'd rather quit this job than be with someone I don't love. I will never betray my husband. Never." Mama Folake opened her mouth to speak, but Amina raised her hand politely. "I'm sorry, Ma, but I'm done here. If your son doesn't stop all this nonsense, we'll leave this house. I won't stay where I'm disrespected." She turned around and walked out quickly, wiping her tears as she marched back to the boys' quarters. After Amina stormed out of Mama Folake's house, her heart was burning. She couldn't believe what just happened. How could a woman like that, someone she respected, try to buy her like a loaf of bread? How could she act like love had no value? She wiped the tears from her face as she walked back with strong steps. Her chest was rising and falling. She was angry, hurt, but more than anything she was sure of one thing. He loved Tunde. When she entered the room, she met something that made her stop completely. Bundles of money. Plenty of it, right there on the small table in the corner. She froze. Her mouth opened in shock. "Tunde, what's going on? Where did you get this money from?" Tunde stood up slowly from the bed, calm and quiet. He looked at her with soft eyes. "I love," he said gently. "Come and sit down." Amina walked over and sat, her eyes still on the money. "Talk to me, Tunde. What is all this?" He smiled. "This money. I've been saving it for a long time, little by little. I plan to use it to start my business. That's been my dream since I came to this city. But today, when I saw the kind of woman you are, when I saw how you defended me, rejected wealth, and chose love, I told myself, you deserve better." Amina was still confused. "But what has this got to do with me?" He pointed at the money again. "I want you to use this money for your education. I know how much you want to go to university. You've talked about it every time. It's your dream. So take it. Go to school. I'll be fine." Amina was speechless. She looked at the money, then at him. "No," she said softly, shaking her head. "I'm serious, Amina," he said again. "And I'm serious too," she replied, standing up. "No, Tunde. Never." Tunde was shocked. "Why?" Amina's voice was full of passion now. "This is your dream, Tunde. You saved this money with sweat and hard work. You wanted to start a business and now you want to throw it away because of me? But I love you. And I love you too," he interrupted, his eyes now full of tears. "That's why I want us to use this money wisely. Let's rent a small room outside this compound. Let's start a business together. You can run it, I'll help you cook and manage it. When it starts growing, I'll go to school. One step at a time." Tunde stood there, staring at her like he was seeing her for the first time. "You want us to leave this house?" "Yes," Amina said firmly. "I don't want to stay here anymore. Not with your boss and her son treating us like we are nothing. We deserve peace. Even if it's small, let it be ours. A shop, a rented room, a new start. That's what I want." Tunde walked to her, took her hand slowly and shook his head in wonder. "Amina, you are not just beautiful. You are wise. You are special. You are everything I prayed for." She smiled through her tears. "And you are the only man I want." He pulled her close, his eyes now watery too. "Thank you for standing by me." "I will always stand by you," she whispered. Then came the kiss. A kiss full of real love. Not because of money. Not because of pressure. But because of trust. Because of unity. Because of two people who had nothing, but had each other. That night they lay in each other's arms. They didn't talk much, just silence, peace and soft laughter. And as the moonlight shined through the window, Amina whispered, "Our better days are coming." And Tunde answered, "Yes, my queen. Step by step we will get there. Together." From being rejected to becoming royalty, she said. The next morning, Amina packed her few belongings. A wrapper, a Bible, a pair of slippers, and her wedding ring. Tunde carried the savings wrapped in an old cloth. No fanfare. No goodbye to Mama Fulig. Just two people walking hand in hand through the quiet compound toward something real. They found a small kiosk at the edge of the market. Old, rusty, but perfect. They cleaned it, painted it, prayed over it. Within days, the aroma of Amina's meals began to draw people. Tunde handled the customers. Amina worked the pot. Word spread. Go to that corner shop. They have magic in their food. One afternoon, a businessman stopped by, licked his fingers, then asked, "Who owns this place?" Tunde stepped forward. "We do." The man smiled. "Good. I want to partner with you. Let's make this big." Amina and Tunde exchanged glances. God was speaking. Years later, their restaurant stood tall on the same street where it all began. Children ran past the sign that now read, "Amina's Kitchen, made with love." Customers came not just for the food, but for the story. A story of two people who chose each other, even when the world turned its back. Amina now taught young girls how to cook and dream. Tunde mentored boys in the community, showing them what real strength looks like. Gentle, faithful, enduring. They still prayed before every meal. Still held hands when no one was watching. Still remembered the days they had nothing but each other. One evening, as the sun dipped low and the shop lights flickered on, Amina walked out, apron stained, face glowing. Tunde was waiting by the door. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. She stepped into his arms. And in that quiet hug was everything they ever prayed for.